This week on Just Killing Time.
It's opening day gun season out here in Kansas. We're out here on one of Hunting Sports Plus's farms this morning.
I think I just made a good shot on a great buck.
Grab your gear and come on with us, heading out from dawn to dusk. Get 'em in your sights and let it fly. Amped up to close the deal and a pocket full of tags for filling. One thing I could say keeps me alive, just killing time.
This is Just Killing Time, presented by Anderson Manufacturing. Just Killing Time is brought to you by Heater Bodysuit, Landmaster UTV, Hard Impact Penetrator Arrows, Game Sled, Seymour Sight Systems, True Lock Choke Tubes, Camp Shelf, Alps Outdoors, High Mountain Seasoning, Hunting Sports Plus, American Whitetail Targets, Night Muzzleloaders, 30-06 Outdoors, Scorpion Crossbows, and Deer Haven Trophy Bucks. Closed captioning of Just Killing Time is brought to you by Invisible.
Greetings everyone from Ontario, Canada. Buck and I are up here at Big Bear Camp, and we are getting ready to get into the bear woods. But before we do, we want to take a minute and tell you what's happening on this week's show.
We're after some big boys. We're in Kansas on some Hunting Sports Plus ground, and we're out there tagging along with Larry and Bonnie Graber, and you don't want to miss it. Let's get right into the action.
Good luck, guys.
I'm here in Kansas. This is the fourth evening early muzzleloader season. We came by this field earlier and saw some deer in it, saw a nice buck, so we're out to get him. So just stay with us, and hopefully he'll come out this evening.
Now, it was obvious that Bonnie and Larry had picked the right field to spend the evening in. Like they usually do, right before last light, a shooter steps out into the field.
I think I just made a good shot on a great buck. We're losing light fast. Got to get out there and see if we can find him. We lost camera light last evening, but we wanted to bring this buck out here to show you this morning that what a terrific buck it is here. That in Kansas on early muzzleloading season, he came out and there was like 20 other deers in the field. It was a great, terrific hunt. I don't know if you can see in the background at the alfalfa field that we were hunting on, but it was a great hunt. I got me a great buck here, and I'm very proud of him. He's a nice 8.
Now let's join Larry as he tries to fill his muzzleloading tag during the latter part of rifle season.
My name's Larry Graber. I'm here in Kansas, deer hunting, and it's cold. It's 6 degrees this morning. It's the 8th day that I've been out hunting on Hunting Sports Plus club ground. Been seeing some deer. Just haven't found the right one yet. So maybe today.
While relaxing in the Kansas cold in the heater bodysuit, Larry spies a couple does and this buck working his way down the draw in front of him. The buck bids down in front of Larry, and the longer he watches him, the better he begins to look. When the old boy gets up out of his bed, Larry makes his decision and ends his Kansas season.
Yes, sir. Look at this. Nice. Nice 8-point. Little bitty kicker here. Been hunting in Kansas for 8 days. Finally decided to shoot this buck this morning. Been passing up on a few others, and it's been a cold hunt in the snow. 6 degrees this morning, 0 yesterday morning, 1 below, wind, cold, snow. Thank goodness for the heater bodysuits, all I could say, man. It was made tolerable by that.
Well, congratulations, Larry and Bonnie. You guys killed a couple good ones out there on that Hunting Sports Plus ground. It's still happening on those farms.
It always is. Hunting Sports Plus, folks. Every time we go out there, we see a lot of game. Speaking of seeing stuff, what's in your hand? Is that mine?
That's right. I got Max's new skinning knife in from Kershaw. Y'all stick around. We'll be right back in just a minute. I'll get old Max's knife.
Hey, maybe I can get that thing bloody up here this week at Big Bear Camp.
I hope so.
I do too.
This segment of Just Killing Time is made possible by Alps Outdoors and High Mountain Seasoning.
They call this extreme duty. We call it easy cleanup.
I shoot Anderson because it's a technically superior mil-spec product.
RF85 means no solvent and never oil.
Accurate rounds down the barrel without failure, prove it.
It's an absolute pleasure to handle, operate, maintain, and shoot.
Reliable and accurate.
Change your AR to an AM. Anderson Manufacturing AM15.
The heater bodysuit is a one-garment solution for staying warm on stand. Our warranty is buy it, wear it. If you get cold, we'll give you your money back. No one in the clothing industry has such a warranty or dares to have such a warranty.
Introducing the all-new Landmaster Hybrid by American Sportworks. This first-of-its-kind UTV offers the quietness of electric and the brute force of gas power, all in one diverse vehicle. The Landmaster Hybrid. Compromise is no longer necessary. This segment of Just Killing Time is brought to you by Hunting Sports Plus and American Whitetail Targets.
Deer Haven.
Deer Haven.
Deer Haven.
Deer Haven.
Deer Haven Trophy Bucks is 3,500 acres of the best whitetail habitat you'll see in North America. We're 1.5 miles from Illinois and 1 mile from Missouri, right on the Ohio and the Mississippi River.
Folks, for those of you that have asked in the past about joining Buck and I in a deer camp, well, here's your opportunity.
That's right, folks. We got a 3-day late season black powder hunt, December 12th, 13th, and 14th, out in western Kentucky with Deer Haven Trophy Bucks. And I tell you, Brett has the deer.
That's right, 12th, 13th, and 14th, 2012. A portion of each hunt that Brett books goes to help Hunters for the Hungry. Folks, this is your opportunity to join Buck and I in camp and share in all the bull.
We hope to see you there.
Absolutely.
Intense quality deer management combined with great habitat plus low hunting pressure equal a great hunting experience. The high hunter success rates and the size of the deer taken are proof it's worth the trip.
Check my website, DeerHavenTrophyBucks.com. Look at some of the fine trophies we've taken over the past years. And give me a call at 270-334-3748. I'm Brett Wilson. Look forward to meeting you. If I haven't seen you already, then you're missing out on a good trip.
After your hunt, then you'll understand why everybody is saying
Deer Haven.
Deer Haven.
Deer Haven.
Deer Haven. Deer Haven.
We get asked all the time about the heater bodysuit. And folks, the footage we're about to show you, we got old Buck. He's out in Kansas on some Hunting Sports Plus ground. The weather's bad, and if it were not for the heater bodysuit, he'd have never been able to stay in the tree to see what would come by.
That's right. When you get 20, 30-mile-an-hour winds, 10, 12-degree temperatures, no way I could have stayed on stand all day. Let's get right into the action. See what happens out there.
Yeah, because if he's cold or he's hungry, he can't sit still, and he's hungry all the time.
I agree with you.
we arrived in Marysville, Kansas a day early, just in time to scout our Hunting Sports Plus farm and get our stands hung.
Folks, it's the day before Kansas gun season. Me and Max going in here and do a little scouting on the farm and get a stand out real quick. It's mid-morning. Hate to do it the day before, but we just rolled in town from North Dakota. Got the old Landmaster, got a tree stand on the back. Go hang a camera arm, see what happens tomorrow. Y'all tag along with us.
With the help of the Landmaster, we got all our stands in position and headed back to the hotel to get a good night's sleep.
What are you doing with that thing on?
Candy camera, brother.
Ah, shoot. Well, you can show the folks what I'm doing. I'm getting ready to put some Invisible oil on. Just got done taking a scent-free shower with my shampoo and scent-free soap. And now this is an oil. It's called Invisible oil. And you just spray it on and wipe it down. This is supposed to kill any kind of human bacteria and odors. Just put it on after your scent-free shower. Spray it on wherever you want to spray it. And now it's time to get dressed. It's 4:30 in the morning, folks. Bring on the deer. Max, you need a whole bunch of this stuff.
We're out here on one of Hunting Sports Plus's farms this morning. And I got a pretty good looking spot here. I'm looking over a creek bottom here. I got several good trails coming in around me. It's gonna be tight quarters though if one shows up. It's gonna be on top of me. Maybe I get lucky and see him out in these fields behind me coming. But we're in here for an all-day sit. And I sure am glad I got the heater bodysuit because this wind's blowing about 20 mile an hour and it's cold.
The first day of our rifle hunt in Kansas started with high expectations. Unfortunately, it ended in only one deer sighting.
Folks, you can see it was a little slow out there on day one. I saw that one little buck, but I don't blame the deer for not moving in those winds. But without the heater bodysuit, those temperatures, no way I could have sat out there all day. Probably wouldn't have seen that one.
Hey, I can guarantee you besides the heater bodysuit, there's something else he had to have, folks. And that was a big old backpack of food, probably big as I was.
Pretty much. Y'all stick around, we'll be back with day 2 here in just a minute.
You know, if your metabolism ever slows down, you can be 4 times bigger than me.
This segment of Just Killing Time is brought to you by Night Muzzleloaders and 30-06 Outdoors, makers of the Ladder Stand Second Man.
They call this extreme duty. We call it easy cleanup.
I shoot Anderson because it's a technically superior mil-spec product.
RF85 means no solvent and never oil.
Accurate rounds down the barrel without failure. Prove it.
It's an absolute pleasure to handle, operate, maintain, and shoot.
Reliable and accurate.
Change your AR to an AM. Anderson Manufacturing AM15.
This segment of Just Killing Time is made possible by Scorpion Crossbows and Deer Haven Trophy Bucks.
Hey, welcome back to Camp Chef Cooking with Puff. This week we're going to make a breakfast dish that's easy for the biggest hunting camp or the smallest family. So we're going to start out casserole. We're going to use some of our Amish maple sausage that we make. A pound of it. We're going to brown it up in our Camp Chef skillet here. While we're browning this up, we're going to take some butter and grease the bottom of our dish like so. Gotta go get us some bread. Now you can use biscuits, you can use bread, whatever. We're going to line the bottom of this baking dish with this bread like that. Canned biscuits, if you know, it works fairly well and makes a wonderful dish. And we're going to have a whole meal right here in our baking dish when we get done. Okay, we've got our sausage browned up here real nice. We're going to go ahead and put it in. And what we're going to do, we're tilt this skillet up a little bit like that so any excess grease will run off of our sausage. We've got some eggs beat up. And we're going to go ahead and pour some of them in there and spoon them around down between our sausage so they'll soak up down in the bread. Go ahead and put some more butter in there.
And we're going to come in here with some onions. If you don't like onions, don't put them in. Peppers. And pile all that around and put them around nice and evenly. I'm going to go ahead and put a layer of grated up cheese, whatever kind you like. I'm going to add a little bit of salt and pepper at this point. Put the rest of our eggs in. Spoon them around so they go down between and all around our mixture. Okay. We'll put the rest of our cheese right in on top. We're going to go ahead and put a little more butter on the top of this. And we're using real butter. We like real butter instead of margarine. I think a little better for you and a whole lot more wonderful when it comes to cooking. We're going to our Camp Chef smoking vault, which is preheated, and going to put breakfast in. Okay. Hey, let's go check our smoking vault to see if our breakfast is about ready, and then we can wake everybody up and tell them to come get it. So I believe that'll work. Look at that, breakfast in one pan. We didn't have to dirty up a lot of nothing this morning. We got our bread, we got our eggs, our meat, vegetables, cheese, all right there in one pan. And you know what? It's super. Try it sometime, for a few people or for a lot. Very easy, very quick, and I guarantee it'll please. For more recipes like this, check us out, jkttv.com, Camp Chef Cooking with Puff on the recipe page. Till next time, enjoy.
It's another jelly head for a True Lock.
With a True Lock choke tube, you're truly locked and loaded. I'm glad to see you.
Glad I brought that too, ain't you?
Hey man.
The old game sled?
I tell you, it's like the American Express card of hunting. Don't leave home without it.
The Game Sled is a unique game recovery system that comes in two distinct models. From its small carry pouch, the Game Sled expands into a super strong game recovery tool.
Anything you want to say to folks at home?
Yeah, you need to have a game sled.
Contact them to get yours today, and then you too will understand why we never leave home without it.
Buck, I can tell you, this Kershaw is sharp, it's well made, and my favorite thing, made in the USA.
What have I been trying to tell you for years?
I know you told me Kershaws make a great knife.
They're top of the line, don't get any better.
And for once, I'm going to admit, folks, Buck's right, for once.
All right, well, let's get right back into action. It's day 2. Let's see if I can score on an old big boy out there in Kansas like Larry and Bonnie did.
All he needs is one dumb deer, folks.
Man, folks, it's a cold one. It's our second morning out here in Kansas, and it's 18 degrees, and the wind's starting to blow, and it's calling for 25 to 30 mile an hour winds today. I just pulled the old Landmaster down here in the creek bottom. I got about a 350 or 400 yard walk to my stand, so I didn't wear too many clothes. I'm going in for an all-day sit, so let me get my goodies on, because there's no way I'm going to sit all day without having me something to munch on, I can tell you. I got the old heater bodysuit with me, because I can assure you, when the temperatures drop, this old boy don't leave home without the heater bodysuit.
Now day 2 ended up being very similar to day 1 for Buck. However, day 3 was a different story. Now this deer has caught Buck flat-footed. Being left-handed and the camera on his right side, with the deer behind him, Buck's got his work cut out.
Folks, I tell you, it's getting late. I had about 10 minutes of shooting light left, and I just happened to look over my left shoulder, and that's the worst place he could come in from. Me being left-handed, camera's on the right. Anyway, I watched him for a couple minutes. Couldn't get the camera around far enough, and he started to walk away from me. So I had to stand up, swing the camera arm around, and video him out through these tree limbs. But I got him on film. I'm not sure how good the footage is going to look like through the tree limb. I just thank the good Lord that I've been able to be out here, and I thank the Heater Bodysuit for making a product to let me sit in the stand all day. It's 3 days straight if it's wind blowing out here in Kansas, and it's been tough. We're out here on the Hunting Sports Plus farm. We knew the big boys is here, but the wind's got them laying up. That's the 4th buck I've seen in 3 days, but not seen a whole lot of does. Only saw one doe today, but the wind's just been awful. But anyway, he dropped in his tracks, so we'll give him a couple minutes and we're gonna walk over and see what we got.
Well, folks, here he is. It wasn't much of a tracking job. He dropped in his tracks, but I tell you, I don't know how good the footage is. The way he come in, it's the worst possible way he could have came in to my far left when I'm being left-handed and the camera on the right side of the tree, but did the best we could, and I just thank the good Lord that it worked out. It's been a long 3 days here in Kansas. The wind has been killing us. 25, 35 mile an hour gusts, pretty constant winds, and I can tell you, if it wouldn't be for this old Heater Bodysuit out in front here, ain't no way I could have sat 3 days straight all day long in that wind, because that stuff was just cutting through you. But this is a pretty representation of a Kansas buck and what you can see out here on some Hunting Sports Plus ground. Again, it's been slow, but I attribute that to the weather and the wind conditions.
For your own personal access to over 800 excellent farms in the Midwest, contact Hunting Sports Plus at 1-800-341-3444 or on the web at Hunting Sports Plus or jkttv.com.
Hey, I told you all you needed was one dumb deer, and you found it. Not only did you find him, but he's a good one. Mass, time length, got kickers. What else could you ask for?
Hey, what did you always say? Folks, Max said he'd rather be lucky than good. And I just got lucky. I put my time in, and it paid off. And you'll probably see us out there on some Hunting Sports Plus farms again this year.
I guarantee. Folks, speaking of lucky, as we leave you, watch some scenes from next week's show. We're heading to Deer Haven out in Barlow, Kentucky. Let's see if we can get lucky again.
And you'll see why they call it Deer Haven.
Next week on Just Killing Time.
I tell you what, this is one of my favorite spots in the country, huh? Brett has a ton of game on his place. I've seen a lot of deer move in here through the past couple evenings, so I would say quite a few deer so far.
This is Just Killing Time, presented by Anderson Manufacturing. Just Killing Time is brought to you by Heater Bodysuit, Landmaster UTV, Hard Impact Penetrator Arrows, Game SLED, Seymour Sight System, True Lock Choke Tools, Camp Shelf, Alps Outdoors, High Mountain Seasoning, Hunting Sports Plus, American Whitetail Targets, Night Muzzleloader, 30-06 Outdoors, Scorpion Crossbows, and Deer Haven Trophy Bucks. Closed captioning of Just Killing Time is brought to you by Invisible.